Hey guys, Elite Legionario here, bringing you a 6-player free-for-all for Rome Total War at the request of the Armenian player over here, Shivo. I said I'd upload it at some point and he asked me to get it up quickly, so I thought I would. So, hope that pleases you. Anyway, I am playing as Pontus. I have 4 units of bronze shield pikemen with bronze attack and defense upgrades. I have 5 units of gold attack archers. I have 2 units of non-upgraded chariot archers and 2 units of Cappadocian cavalry with an upgrade each. A bronze attack, I believe. Over here is the Carthaginian player, Seleucids, I believe is how you say it. I might be saying it wrong though. He's got 5 units of Sacred Band hoplites with 3 upgrades each. 3 Sacred Band cav, 2 with 2 upgrades and 1 with 3 upgrades. Over here, the Seleucid player, Prince Hector, has 3 units of gold silver shield pikemen. I remember because it doesn't show the things right now, but it's what he had. Got 3 units of, I think it's gold attack archers, a couple of silver cataphracts, and I'm not sure about the Greek cav. That's his army. Down here we have Captain Killer, who is the Scipii Romans. He has 2 units of Praetorian cavalry, one that contains his general, which is here. Here he is. He's got, I think it's 4 units of Praetorian cohort with 2 upgrades apiece and 2 archer auxiliary with an upgrade each. Over here, the Shivo, the fellow who requested, he has 3 units of gold Armenian heavy spearmen. He has 4 units, I think, gold attack regular archers, 2 gold attack horse archers, and 3 gold cataphracts. 2 gold cataphracts, which prove very effective and deadly for him in this fight. And the final player over here, Roma, who's playing as the rebels, has 4 units of, I think it's gold gladiators, Sam Knight gladiators, a unit of druids for moral boosting, 2 units of Eastern infantry with an upgrade each. That's pretty crap. Sorry, he's got 3 of them, so yeah. So strange army by him, and he does some really strange stuff in this fight. So originally I was going to go after Carthage, although the hill advantage was the little slight hill I had to climb was bothering me, so I wasn't sure. But the Seleucid player has gone for him anyway, so I'm going to go for the rebel. But the problem is the rebel is running off in this direction, and this is kind of frustrating in a 6-player free-for-all, because you've got to get. I always play scored games, because otherwise that way you get a hill camper and they don't win if they camp. So unfortunately what's going to happen is I'm going to be running around for a long time, or moving around a long time with no opponent, so that's not good. So the action starts pretty swiftly between the Seleucids and the Carthaginians. As you can see, the missile fire from the Seleucid player is doing quite good. So anyway, as you can see, they're going to engage in a cavalry skirmish here, but I think the Carthaginian player is making a mistake allowing this to happen. He's got a infantry superiority and he's not really using it, and he's going to get pretty quickly and decisively defeated by these cataphracts in a 1-for-1 battle. Over here, he rushes his sacred bands in, and they're not in formation, so they're going to get creamed, whereas otherwise they should be winning this fight, as they are a lot better than silver shield pikemen. So these sacred bands will beat his Greek cav, but once the cataphracts come in, it's over. And he's just lost his general in the process.
Now we will see the measure of his soldiers.
So he's his men are doing much better now, but it doesn't even look like they got the spears going, so that's strange. But even with gold upgrades, silver shield pikemen would probably only be an equal match for a sacred band with 3 upgrades. Sacred band are a lot better than silver shield pikemen, but here they get cleaned out by a very, very fast strike from these cataphracts. They've got a large run up and they just got creamed. Over here, now the only conclusion I get to this fight is he doesn't seem to have much success in this fight. Now, I do not believe it's because he has inferior upgrades. Like I said, Sacred Band will beat Silver Shield Pikeman even with less upgrades, but he probably isn't off guard mode. Plus there's these extra numbers behind, which could mean something. And with his general dead and cavalry roaming around the back, it's just a multitude of those sorts of things going on as well. But the Seleucid player is going to defeat the Carthaginian player pretty easily. As you can see, I'm running after the rebel to try and catch him. But if we could take a close look at this fight, I mean, these cataphracts just tear into him. In all honesty, what I would have done if I had been Alcibiades, I would have put three of my Sacred Band up with guard mode off to challenge three of his Silver Shield Pikemen. That would have been a pretty even fight. You still think he could have won it though, because Sacred Band, as I said, are a lot better than Silver Shield Pikemen, and you could have put two of them as rear flank guard against Cataphracts, and he likely would have won that. But I don't reckon he had guard mode off. It's a must. If you don't take guard mode off, they will not fight as hardcore as they otherwise could. So anyway, this fight goes to the Seleucid player, Prince Hector, so he's the first one with a kill or a death of an opponent. So if we come over to here to the rebel player Roma, when this was happening, I thought, right, him and Shivo must have a alliance of some sort, but then I take closer notice and I notice that Shivo's shooting at him, so I'm thinking to myself, what is this rebel player doing? I mean, he's just running past an army that could probably just flatten him in seconds. I was surprised that Shivo didn't just cataphract him over. But I mean, look at this. This is the strangest thing. He runs around Armenia and runs himself into the middle between Armenia and Rome and just sits there and then attacks Rome and gets shot by archers. It's the stupid. I mean, I don't know who this guy is, and I'm not trying to be mean to him, but I have to say it was the strangest and oddest tactics I've ever seen, and not good tactics. I mean, not that I'm a pro at tactics by any stretch of the word, but I mean, look at what he's doing. He's just running himself into a terrible position with a terrible army as well. What's he thinking? I don't understand. But anyway, Shivo is skirmishing with these Praetorian cavalry. He's drawing them out, trying to tire them. All the while, my chariot archers have now come into range and are taking pop shots at Shivo's cataphracts, so I got about 4 or 5 of those. But if we look at this, I mean, he's going to get shot from one way by these archer auxilia, and he can easily be shot this way by Shivo's archers. Well, I'm surprised Shivo didn't do it. I would. Unless he had an alliance with them, but I'm pretty sure he said at the end that he didn't. But they could just shred these guys. I mean, what a terrible position to go put yourself into. I don't know what he was thinking. So I'm on my way, as you can see, and this is something I want to point out to you guys. I've noticed in the past, but I've never mentioned it. See how my bronze shields say warmed up there, guys? Look at my archers, they say winded. Isn't that strange? They've been doing the same amount of walking and running, and it happens every game. Archers get tireder faster than like heavy phalanxes or heavy infantry. It's weird. You'd think some guy carrying a quiver of bows and a bow would be a little swifter on the field and have a little more reserve of energy left than a guy carrying a big shield and whole armour and a pike. That's pretty heavy. I mean, it doesn't make sense. Or maybe it's a fitness or stamina thing they've taken into the equation. I haven't really noticed. So anyway, the cataphracts of Shivo finish off the Scipii general's cavalry, although he's still alive, but he's doing a runner. And Prince Hector is on his way down the hill, ready to cause some strife. So here's where the rebel player does some weird stuff. He just flat out charges into the Roman. I don't understand what he was aiming to do. I mean, he's just going to get destroyed. It's look at this, dead. I don't know. I mean, if he's a new player, I can understand if he's really new. But I mean, I wouldn't think a really new player would use the rebels. But that was just strange. I mean, putting himself into such a position, playing as the rebels, you had to play a very cautious, steady kind of game. If you need to take advantage of every little thing. But I mean, that wasn't a very good rebel army. What he should have had was Amazon chariots, Cretan archers, that sort of thing, and skirmish a lot. That's the best way to use rebels, in my opinion. So where they got the best strengths. So I'm trying to split Shivo out a bit. See if I can get his archers into a good position where I can sort of take advantage. And if I had some light cav, I probably would have kept this up. But I tried chasing with my Cappadocian cav, but it doesn't really go the way I want. But it doesn't really matter, as I can easily take command of the hill, this little hill here, and outrange him. So now sort of what's happened is Prince Hector and Shivo are now sort of, while they're facing each other and ready to battle, they've also got opponents right behind them, so they have to take that into the equation. So I was hoping that by doing this it would make Shivo Shivo, and it would also make Prince Hector, with the Seleucid behind him, a wee bit like inclined to react quickly and without thinking things through, because they're getting sort of like, out positioned on their flanks and things. So here I've got some annoying sort of glitchiness with chariots that can't seem to get through these cav, or consider the fact that it might be easier to just go around them. But she was doing a good thing here. He is chasing down these routing rebels with his horse archers. This is a very good idea, because it is scored. I mean, they're probably not going to be that valuable kills, but nonetheless they're kills and free ones. If I had the unit fast enough to catch them, I would have done it myself. So the Seleucid army is looking actually quite healthy, considering it's up against Carthage, and this gives the Seleucid player an enormous advantage. Those Carthaginian Sacred Band hoplites are an extremely valuable unit in terms of quality, so that's going to be a big deal for him. So now these Praetorian cohort and heavy spearmen are about to duke it out, and this is pretty much a no-brainer. Even with only 2 upgrades as opposed to their 6, these Praetorian cohorts are way better as infantry. But they do get charged, so if they had Peter left, they couldn't use them, so that does help a bit. But they're no match for these Praetorian cohorts, which will clean them. But Shivo's very quick and gets his cataphracts right in immediately, because he knows he's got to have enough left to to face me. So Shivo gets his armor-piercing mace right into the backs of these Praetorian cohort, and with only 2 upgrades, they're not going to have the morale necessary to hold this out, so they're going to rout fairly quickly. But otherwise, if he had not got his men in, as you can see, his heavy spearmen over here were getting pretty cleaned out by this unit of Praetorians. So look, he's cut straight through him. So if he didn't have the cataphracts, it would have been a big difference. So I'm trying to take advantage of the fact that Shivo is semi in combat and sort of muddled up, his archers are undefended and la-di-da-di-da, that kind of thing. I want to take advantage of it and basically catch him before he reforms his line, his positioning. And I'm surprised that I think the Seleucid player might have actually had the same idea as me, to take advantage of the fact that these two were sort of messed up. He's probably trying to get the remaining Roman troops for kills. Shiva does a good move here where he turns his cataphracts around in time to counter me, and I'm not foolish enough to challenge his cataphracts on a one-on-one with my Cappadocians, because those cataphracts have got 5 more upgrades, plus cataphracts are better than Cappadocians anyway, so I'm not so foolish enough to try that. He's flaming me, which is a good idea too, because it'll mean my troops fall easier. I make a bit of a blunder here. I don't keep my chariots moving. I should have kept them moving a lot sooner while he was focusing on my Cappadocians, while I get my own archers into range. But Shivo is going to have time to reorganise his line, but he is depleted. Although if you look at his infantry, he's still quite strong, which is impressive. Armenian heavy spearmen are some of the worst phalanxes in the game. They're decent enough to hold a line, but I wouldn't expect miracles from them. So there are a few units they're better than, but not particularly good. If you're playing as Armenia, you really need to base your strengths around your cataphracts. But your heavy infantry can provide useful support if necessary, in stalling tactics and things, I've found. If you've ever looked at Globulus' videos, you'll find he does that quite a bit with Armenia, because Armenia is his favourite, and he has a good understanding of how to work them and make use of cavalry. But uses infantry as a stalling tactic. But again, that just depends on your style of play. If you're a cavalry player or an infantry player, I'm probably somewhere in the middle, to be honest, but I usually have more success with my infantry than my cavalry. But anyway, he seems to have a slightly better positioning, I think. Well, it only seems that way, but I am actually getting quite a lot of kills on him. Plus I've outflanked him, but his flaming arrows have really done a heck of a lot of damage to these chariots. And unfortunately, even though I had the Cantab circle on, they don't do it, which is annoying. I hate when that happens, but it just does happen. It's an annoying game thing. But Shivo's using his cataphracts over here to cause as much destruction and chaos as possible, and I want to capitalise on this immediately by using my infantry to pin him, and my own Cappadocians destroy his infantry and archers before his cavalry come back. He's also wrecking quite a lot of the Seleucids forces, so that's good. I'm still well aware of the fact that it took me a long time to get into combat, which means I am slightly behind, which is not so good, so I need to get going quickly. So Zero Fire coming in, and look at this, this unit here just routes with morale alone. My Cappadocians just roll past it, so that doesn't happen very often, and I imagine that probably frustrated him a bit. It would me, but his men are wavering, as you can see, but they do put up a very good fight. I think I get my spears down. They come to, well, I didn't time it that badly, it's just that they didn't come down very fast on this side. So he does actually inflict very heavy damage here, but then again he's packing 4 more upgrades per troop. But bronze shields are a lot better than heavy spearmen, and bronze shields are certainly not the best pikes in the game by any extent. But I come in with a couple of hammer anvils, and that finishes off the rest of Shivo's infantry pretty much immediately. And that he's using his cataphracts to catch out whatever I can. These cataphracts are a credit to him in this fight. He gets a lot of kills from them. So I was aiming to go with a slightly bigger but minor upgraded army. I don't like to go with armies with no upgrades, but I don't like, and this was a 10k game, so it wasn't like a real big upgrades. But if you go too heavy on upgrades, you can't get enough troops. So here I was hoping I could catch his cataphracts off guard and wipe them out quickly. I do do some significant damage to them, but it doesn't happen quick enough. And I realise what's going to happen, so I'm going to try and pull out of this, but his other cataphract comes in, and I do get one unit out, but the other unit routes. Now, the time was a wee bit frustrating, but when you think about it, I figured his men were tired and I could take advantage of it, but I didn't calculate that my own troops were just as tired. My own cav were just as tired from coming over here all the way from the other side of the map. But you also got to take into account that he's got a lot more upgrades and their cataphracts are better than Cappadocians, so that is actually a pretty standard thing.
From the battle in terror.
So the Seleucid player was disarrayed and disorganised, and I was hoping to take advantage of this and charge him. Shivo is now going to go after the Seleucid archers, so he's making good work of this cataphract. So what I'm doing is I'm sending my chariots further around the flank so I can get flank shots, and I'm going to keep my archers moving very quickly. I do not want them to get too far behind my infantry, otherwise they will become easy pickings for Shivo's cataphracts, which are indeed inflicting heavy casualties. So I'm trying to pick a few kills here, so I will get a few of these routing Praetorian cohorts, but my men are rather tired, so they're starting to run back. So I'm going to triple speed a bit here, guys, because this goes on for a while. As you can see, Shivo is trying to get kills wherever he can, and I'm just running up, and the Seleucid player has made a fatal mistake by going down here. He has put himself at an inferior position, which is something he does not want to do. And aside from the fact that, him and Shivo was trying to get an alliance with him, which is a very good move against me because I am in the strongest position and will likely be the last man standing unless I make some horrible mistakes. But the Seleucid player didn't want a bean of it, so I thought that was kind of odd. So the cataphracts are the focus of my missile attention. I was hoping just sheer weight of fire and flank shots from these chariots would destroy him. But you'll see just how frustratingly good these cataphracts serve Shivo. He's gone to loose formation, good idea. That'll reduce the casualties. But look at this, this is getting like hundreds of arrows in space, and I get a good charge here. He's getting, keep in mind he's getting shot in the flank, loads of arrows. But he routs this unit almost immediately. So I lose that unit of Cappadocians. I see my other unit of Cappadocians in. I was figuring, nah, he's stuffed now. His men are exhausted. And my men are only, well, they're tired. He's getting shot in the flank. He's getting arrows everywhere. But he routs this unit as well. And I was thinking, yeah, obviously he's got more upgrades than me, but the point is he's exhausted, and he's getting all that happening to him, and he's still going. So that's a point where cataphracts are annoying. So here he gets into my archers, and I was thinking, oh, surely they can hold out long enough against this now extremely exhausted cataphract unit. But he routs one, gets into my other unit, and he's just going to look at this. This is one of those real frustrating things where he's going to munch at my back line there with his archers, and I'm going to rush, and I finally rout it, but this cataphract unit has not yet been seen the end of. So actually no, this one come back, his general come back, and he's still picking up my units there. So very frustrating. Now, a good move by the Seleucid player is he's going to capitalise on my distraction against Scipio's cataphracts, but I was aware of it. And I am moving my men round those flanks so I can get shots at the back of his men, and I am getting the odd one or two. And I'm going to try and outposition him here and catch him out so that he's going to get clumped up here like he has, and that's good. And I can use my superior numbers to go around the flanks on him and get my chariots around his back and shoot him in the back. And I'm just going to blast the crap out of these cataphracts and hopefully finish them off, and I do. So Scipio's extremely annoying cataphracts are finally dead. So my bronze shields are doing a good job. He's going to try and outflank me. I'm going to counter outflank him with my archers that are running so slowly it's almost like they're crawling. So he's going to get in my back there, but I'm going to get crap loads of missile fire in his back. And I'm also outflanking with this unit and this unit. So point blank range, like a machine gun in their back pretty much. So they're going to get ripped to shreds very, very quickly. And that unit routes under that just withering archer fire. And he's also getting flank shotted by these chariots, although I think they might be out of it. No, they're not out of ammo just yet. And there's Prince Hector's general. So that's everyone dead basically and routing, so I'll just triple speed towards the end now, because all I'm going to do is use my chariots to run down my archers and things to hit, and my chariots to run down as much stuff as I can. I'm still very well aware of the fact that I was late into the fight, and that makes it a very pressing challenge for me, because it doesn't mean just because I'm the last man here and it looks like I've done well doesn't mean I necessarily have got as many kills as these guys. The Seleucid player and Scipio did very well as well when they fought. So I like squad resolution though, because it's fair. It takes into account the skill and the effort that went into a battle and doesn't just let some hill camper win like Last Man Standing does. The other day I fought a couple of battles and this guy would just wait until the end of the fight, or wait until two people had fought, and then he'd come in and he'd win every time because he was LMS, and it was kind of annoying. So I've had that sort of thing happen to me in the past as well. It's not, I don't think it's very, very sporting to do that. That's why I use squad resolution, because it allows everyone's skill to come into play, and someone who's played really well and done some really good stuff might win over someone who's just camped and then come down and picked up rouses, which is just takes no skill at all. So squad resolution is definitely what I think everyone should use on free-for-alls, because it's just more balanced that way. But I mean, LMS is okay if you've got players who are, are not going to do that. But anyway, as it turns out, I get third. I have 951 kills, which says I have the highest kills, but I'm still third. Prince Hector, the Seleucid player, 787 kills, has the victor. Now the reason this being is he got the highest quality kills. Sacred Band, extremely high quality units. I mentioned it earlier in the vid, and that is why he won. He got the best quality units. Shivo, 911 men, he came second. And again, those Praetorian cohorts, Praetorian Cav, very high quality units. I did not kill as high quality units, you see. I killed a lot of, I killed heavy spearmen, archers. I mean, besides those cataphracts, I only did half the cataphracts. I didn't actually kill a lot of high quality units. I just picked up a lot of average units. So it's not as effective as what Prince Hector had. He actually left the game slightly before it ended. And when I came out into the lobby, I said to him, Prince, you actually won this fight. And he didn't believe me. He said I only had so and so many kills, and he said I didn't have enough kills, and I said, Prince, it was scored, you won. And he still didn't believe me. But I mean, if he ever sees it, here's the results. Rank 1, you won. So good win to him. So if we have a look at the statistics, my bronze shields, pretty good. I'm pretty pleased with that. Not too bad. They're not the greatest unit. Oh, they're not bad. They are pretty good. They're better than Silver Shield Pikemen from what I've gathered. Even though the stats are identical, they always do better. I don't know why. They're sort of a middle of the range, middle of the road pike unit that are better, but they're all worse, so that's why they are pretty decent. They're acceptable infantry line. Archers, they did very well. Chariot archers did extremely well, getting well over 100, and one coming close to 200. My Cappadocians, they did pretty good, considering they only had one upgrade each on them. They did pretty good, so I'm pretty pleased with that. So I don't consider it like it's a defeat, but it's not a bad one. I mean, I did have the most kills, I just didn't have the most quality, but I was like last man standing. So anyway, that's a good game to Roma, Shivo. If you know guys, he asks and I will put it up, so if you ask specifically for something, I will do it. So thanks for asking, Shivo. And Captain Killer, good game to you. Prince Hector, well done, your victory. And Alcibiades, good game there. So thanks for watching, guys. Hope you enjoyed, and I will see you soon next time.